This is one of the biggest police deployments since the end of communism in Romania. 400 officers are on duty to guard the Diversity March, the country's official gay parade. For the majority of Romanians, this is no more than a demonstration promoting perversion. As far as the oppressed homosexual community is concerned, it is an act of freedom.
And today I have life. I have life and I smile. Tomorrow maybe no smile, but today smile.
The parade will be attacked by opponents to homosexuality. Militant ultra-conservatives, self-appointed guardians of tradition, are driven away by tear gas. Romania is in its first year of EU membership. Its so-called gay clause, penalising same-sex relationships, came under pressure from Brussels, who abolished it within the EU 5 years ago, establishing a public anti-discrimination agency. Previously, homosexuality had been considered an illness and treated as such in Romania, as happened in most former Eastern European bloc countries. Whoever openly came out as homosexuals, as Hazar did, found himself facing serious problems. The professional interpreter has been in a long-term relationship with another man for 7 years. He is one of a few in Bucharest. Recently, I was beaten up in the centre of Bucharest. I was minding my own business with my boyfriend. We were walking side by side. Simply by chance, these two men came out of the underground and screamed at us and called us fags. They set in on us because they decided, purely on the grounds of our appearance, that we must be gay.
Faptul că ne-au văzut că suntem, eu știu că potențial homosexuali.
In the West, no one cares about gay and lesbian marches, the Christopher Street days. But in the new EU countries, such as Poland, Latvia, Bulgaria or Romania, there's no such liberality. The thing is, this kind of parade gives people a completely misleading introduction to homosexuality. They don't know anything about us. They think that we tout as transvestites or transsexuals. Romania is not really ready for this yet. Not by a long stretch. Without police protection, these kinds of meetings would not be able to be held publicly. This evening, the Romanian theatre company Hell's Kitchen will promote tolerance among Romanians through its performance. Heterosexuals put themselves into the world of homosexuals, experiencing it. The actors hope that it will succeed.
Two years ago, we had a show to the Terrace to Motoare on National Theatres upstairs, and we had a large public. We had at least 400 persons in public. Maybe 20% were gay. Rest of them were people who like events.
The part who is against gay people to cry louder, and it could be a reason that we have the impression that they are so numerous. But I'm not sure that the most part of the Romanian society has a problem.
Romania must not become Sodom, chant the neo-Nazis. Together with the Orthodox Church, they have organised the March of Normality, the Church and the new extreme right, an unholy alliance. For them, homosexuality is un-Romanian and a sign of the corrupting influence of the West.
We are very peaceful, as you see. We are not against them. We are not against the people. We are against the sin. Yes, it's not something normal. So this is what we don't want that will happen in Romania.
Love between same-sex partners is one of the first sins of mankind. Today it is dispersing as it once did in Sodom. When the majority of people were evil, God destroyed them, so that men would not behave like beasts. The sexual urge was instilled by God for the procreation of children.
Deci instinctul acesta sexual l-a lăsat Dumnezeu pentru mulțirea oamenilor. Știm cu toții lucrul ăsta.
The Orthodox Church still plays an important role in Romanian life. It takes an extremely conservative stand on social polemics. The Berlin sociologist Jan Feddersen has been analysing the phenomenon of homophobia in Eastern Europe. The West goes over to the East with this liberal, individualistic spirit. And so the Orthodox Church is set up in opposition as an advocate for backwardsness and draws support from those whose lifestyles are threatened by modernisation. Homosexuality has become an embodiment of modernisation and so a threat to the people's way of life. Homosexuals are mobile, they're not dependent upon traditional hierarchies. The very fact that their love bypasses reproduction is evidence of this, and so gay pride becomes a threat to both the core traditional values of Eastern European society, as well as to the nationalistic people's movement. Since Eastern Europe was opened up, Western churches, especially American ones, have been very active. One of them focuses specifically on the spirituality of gays and lesbians. The Metropolitan Community Church campaigns for the recognition of social pariahs.
We've helped to do education about what it means to be lesbian and gay and Christian, or what it means to be lesbian and gay. So we've done a lot of public education. We have offered worship services in places where people have not been able to receive communion for years and years and years because the church has excluded them based on who they love. And when we do those services, you know, in Moldova, people wept during the service. They wept because they had been so long excluded.
In the headquarters of the gay organisation Accept, preparations for the annual event are gathering momentum. It is only the third time that the March for Diversity is taking place in Romania. While in Europe, the struggle for gay rights has been going on for 20 years, here it is only just beginning. Several in the parade do not want to show their face. They conceal their identity behind masks or wigs so that it will not be recognised later. Even Cesar is careful. However, he also sees it as his duty to fight for his rights. My boyfriend is apprehensive about coming, but I'm not as anxious as he is. I tend to be more militant. The way I look at it, I only have this one life, and if I were to die for my convictions, it would be just tough luck. If we ourselves do not make approaches towards the general public, who else should fight for us to be acknowledged? Demonstrators who cause disturbances of the peace are arrested. The police are harsh with them, as had previously happened in Poland and Latvia. The new Europe is demonstrating that it is taking European values seriously, not least out of economic interests. Countries that show very strong intolerance and tensions within their societies really scare off investors. And so as far as the EU is concerned, it is important to get rid of homophobic sentiment. I'm pretty confident that it is only a matter of time. I may be more optimistic than others, but if these countries do not liberalise, they are destined to remain at the bottom of the wealth chart within the EU.
Oder sie werden also im Grunde genommen innerhalb der EU immer am Ende der Reichtumsskala bleiben.
Even despite the heavy police presence, a festive party spirit surfaces. Still, over the coming year, they will once more have to restrict celebrations to just one occasion. The gay scene in Bucharest is not very large. Not yet.
Raise the horizon for the majority to see that we are existing and we are Romanian citizens.